1 year ago, Donald Trump shocked millions of Hillary Clinton supporters and many Republicans by winning the presidency. After election analysis showed that part of his win was due to 80% white evangelical support. Hello and welcome to A Spirited Debate. I'm Lauren Green. The faith factor continues to stymie pundits who never predicted a Trump win. But journalist and author Strang has spent the last year trying to understand how a man whose life did not really reflect Christian values could capture the biggest evangelical vote of any Republican in history. And the book is called God and Donald Trump. And Strang joins me now. Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor.
You know, very interesting comment in the foreword by Governor Mike Huckabee, who wrote that, he candidly says that Donald Trump was not his favorite candidate. And many others were like him.
Well, he says he was. He was his own.
Yes. So how did the Trump campaign get so many evangelical voters?
Well, a lot of people in this country feel that the nation's been going in the wrong direction. And Christians were very concerned. I'm a Christian. A lot of Christians were praying. You know, Hillary Clinton wrote a book that says what happened, and I like to say that my book answers the question, and that is that God intervened. And the idea of God intervening in anything is not part of our national debate. I've read a number of Trump books. They don't even go into what you just said about evangelicals supporting him, let alone could God somehow have raised up a very, very unlikely person. I like to say that God answered our prayers in a way we didn't expect with a person we didn't even necessarily like. But he...
You really believe that God divinely interjected himself into the campaign and actually chose Donald Trump to win?
I absolutely believe that because I'm a Christian and I believe God is sovereign. So I believe that leaders cannot be raised up unless God, allows it. And, our country was going in the wrong direction. And with Hillary Clinton, it would have gone further. Donald Trump championed the things that were important to Christians. He changed about 10 years ago. He kind of cleaned up his act. He's become much more serious. And we as Christians believe that God can change lives and people can be forgiven. So once you sort of understand that he's sincere, he said the kinds of things that Christians wanted to hear. He even went to bat for them with things like the Johnson Amendment, which no other politician had even brought up. That's the IRS rule that says that nonprofits can lose their tax-exempt status if they don't.
Right. He surrounded himself with a lot of evangelicals. I mean, the idea that, he's actually surrounded himself more than even a Bush administration.
Oh, yeah.
What surprised you about his faith? Because I don't really pretend to even know the mind of God, but I want you to tell me what it surprised you about his faith.
And I don't know the mind of God either. In fact, I try to lay out the case, but not say emphatically, hope that the reader will kind of come to the same conclusion. But he surrounded himself, as you said, with leaders. He seemed, and when they would meet with him, they would gather around him and pray for him and lay hands on him, which is not common in all churches, but it's common in Pentecostal churches. And I've never even seen a politician allow himself to be prayed for like that. But yet Trump seemed to like it. And somebody would always take a video on their iPhone and it would end up on YouTube and sometimes go viral. And this happened again and again. Dr. James Dobson was quoted as saying he believes that Trump is a baby Christian. So if you're a believer, we understand that you're kind of a baby and then you kind of grow up in your faith. But he opposes abortion. He opposes the Johnson Amendment. He is very strong for supporting the persecuted Christians in other parts of the world. All those are very, very important issues to Christians. There are a lot of other important issues, the trade deficit and tax cuts and everything else. But for Christians, those were the ones that were important because we felt almost like we were losing our country.
His faith changed running for office. But I think the question a lot of people are asking, did he change, really change? Was it a heartfelt change? Or was it something just playing up to the evangelicals to get their vote?
Well, only time will tell. But I believe it was genuine. I really do. I don't think that you can really fake it. I had the opportunity to interview him. I found him to be very different in person than the media portrays him. He has shown humility in lots and lots of ways, and he has cleaned up his act. And I think that he's sincere. I think he's doing the best job he can. I believe he really does want to make America great again. He already was very, very, very successful. He didn't need this for his resume. And
maybe he needed it for his ego. I mean, that's been a criticism as well,
Well, you know what? You raise a good question, but truth be known, you can't almost go to those heights of power, anybody, unless you have a pretty strong ego and feel that you're right, maybe more right than other people. But you know what? He's also humble. He met with pastors and said, while I was out making money, you were pursuing a higher calling, which shows that he felt these clergy was doing something more noble than he was. In the Republican convention, he was talking about the evangelical vote, or the evangelical community supporting him, and he was reading teleprompter. He went off script and said, I don't even know if I deserve their support, which to me shows humility, and that's a mark of a Christian. Well,
it's a very interesting book. The book is called God and Donald Trump. Stephen Strang, thank you so much for being here on A Spirited Debate.
Thank you.
And I'm Lauren Green. Thanks for watching.